Okay. Hello, everyone. Brian, and I'm back. It's thank you for indulging my absence. I went to LA for a work event that was the entire week. Hey, Walt. Hey, Walt. How you doing? Good to see you. Went to a work event that was an on-site in an actual office, so that was a little weird. I had to put on pants, which for those of you who work in an office, putting on pants is, basic minimums for, that kind of thing. Yeah, did not did not enjoy pants. I'm glad to be back to wearing shorts as per, SoCal, how we do it in SoCal. And yeah, glad we could all get back together today to talk about security and talk about all kinds of things. So I have pants on. Well, I have shorts on. I have shorts. So I've got shorts on. Don't know what it is, but you go 3 years with the pandemic with working at home, and then it's like the first thing I told people as I was leaving was like, yeah, this is the last time I have to wear pants for 3 weeks. And, it's one of those luxuries of not having to deal with, your boss or whatever. Stopped wearing pants. Now I wear, well, okay. So, Walt, for me, pants is jeans, is anything that covers, the leg portions here of me. So, that kind of thing. As you can see, I have quite a tan line. You can see where the sock is on my leg. That's all the skin that you're going to see on me today. My wife was like, "Ugh, your ankles are dirty." I was like, no, honey, that's suntan of me walking a lot outside and stuff. So it was great. The weather was fine. It was good to see people. We had folks in from Australia. We had folks in from the EU and Canada. All converging in LA for event. Still seeing the intro screen. Oh, are you on YouTube? My bad. Why are you still seeing the intro screen? That does not make any sense. I can see myself on you. Well, let me go check Twitch. Why is Twitch okay? I don't need to see the softcore porn from all of the people who are on here on Twitch. I see me. There I am. There I is. There we go. I'm not sure what's going on there, Walt. I have a blue background. Yes, I have a blue background. That is correct. I do in fact have a blue background. Let me minimize that. There we go. The blue background is definitely a thing. Refresh the page. Oh, okay, good. All right, well, excellent. Got some Inception shit going on. Watch this. Ooh. Oh, it's through its fourth iteration with my hand. Fifth iteration. Sixth iteration. There he goes. Seventh iteration. That's funny. That is creepy. Okay, my bad. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. So it was great. It was I stress over those things way too much, I think, when we do those on sites, because one, I never know if I'm good enough to be hanging out with those folks. I'm just a filthy TPM or what have you, and it's a different vibe just going into an office. It's like you're not used to what happens. You have to have a badge, and you got to badge in, and you got to do all these things. So a little bit of trepidation there. And plus, I drove up. I drove my car. I drove my Tesla up, which handled it beautifully. The supercharging at the hotel was excellent. Um, but yeah, it's just, we have the budget to be able to allow for us to go travel and uh, bringing people into LA or what have you. I think our next one's going to be in Dublin, not Dublin, it's just Dublin, Ireland. Um, how about the DOJ pulling the veil off of Lockbit Sup? I saw that. Yeah. Lockbit Sup. I saw that this morning. Quite interesting. They doxed him real good. Yeah, ironically enough, Lockbit Sup had a $10 million like you can't dox me kind of thing, and so he had thrived on anonymity, offered $10 million U.S. reward to anyone who could reveal his identity. Will now be subject to a series of asset freezes and travel bans. Apparently, this is the person in question. They offered a $10 million reward leading to his arrest, and I was thinking, well, maybe if somebody's smart enough, they could, hit up Lockbit Sup before maybe the $10 million the FBI is offering for reward was given to them by this guy for doxing him. I don't know. But yeah, it was, he's going to be sticking around Russia for a while, will not be able to go on vacation to Thailand or wherever folks who like to, enjoy his Lambos and whatever. Obviously, he works out at the gym, where he has a home gym, so maybe he'll spend a little more time in the gym. Lock him up. Yes, MSEC. Yeah. It was just interesting to see him be doxxed like that. He thrived on anonymity, but somebody knew his real identity. So it's either, maybe his parents or something posted up pictures on, Facebook, like, oh, here's our little Lockbit Sup, hanging out and whatever. Yeah, someone snitched. That was my thinking. Maybe his grandma posted up pictures of little Dimitri and, at his house and whatever. It's like, oh, doing so good with the Lockbit crew or something, and he got doxxed on Facebook or by family or whatever. But yeah, Lockbit, somebody's going to have to take over IT support, I guess now, or what have you, administrator and developer. So somebody else will take over development of Lockbit while he is either on the run or he is puts in the pokey. So 100 hospitals and healthcare companies, at least 2,110 victims. How oddly specific there. And so, yeah, group has attempted to rebuild over the last 2 months. However, NCA assesses as a result of the investigation, they're currently running at limited capacity, and the global threat from Lockbit has been significantly reduced. And they've created a new leak site. He will be welcomed to join Sandworm. I don't know how this works. I don't know if you're out of the club once you've been doxxed or what have you. It's just interesting. Pow pow. Meow. Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, 194 affiliates. Lockbits. Yeah, I don't know where they ended up finding all of his stuff. If he's on YK or one of the social media networks over in Russia. So yeah. I don't know. I found it interesting that they doxed him like this. There must have been a reason for it. Maybe they were like, hey, you're now put on notice. Our anonymity is not what it should be. And it only takes one time though, right? A lot of times we see people, they're like, oh yeah, for years they were using Tor and it was hard to find them. And then that one time they get up at, whatever they're doing, they forget to turn the Tor VPN on, or they forget to do whatever it is they do to normally cover their tracks. It only takes one time. Or, I just got to do this one thing. Let me log in on a friend's box. I'll do it real quick. And then boom, they've got you in logs, or they've got you in VPNs or something like that. And yeah, maybe it was one of those things. Maybe we'll find a follow-up report on how they doxed this person. Could be, it would suck if it was a family member or something posting to, social media, or somebody got doxxed that way, or, you he's a good little boy. We just, didn't know what he was up to, or something like that. And then, his parents ratted him out or something like that. So, yeah. Says the NCA and international partners are now in possession of over 2,500 decryption keys and are continuing to contact lockpick victims to offer support. So did they... Wait a minute, I didn't see that part. Did they gain access to the infrastructure? Maybe that's how they found out about him. Uncovering the 194 affiliates identifies Lockbit using Lockbit services, 148 built attacks, 119 engaged in negotiations, 119 who began negotiations, 39 appear to have not ever received ransom payment, 75 did not engage in negotiation, which also appear not to have received ransom payments. Interesting metrics. So 148 of those 119 engaged in negotiations. So some do not engage. They just decide, hey, I'm going to just blow up the world. The numbers don't match up. 119 and 75 is not 148. That's 100 and 204. So interesting. Yeah, so 194. Still doesn't match up though. 119 and 75 is... Oh, no, that's 194. Okay, that matches up. Okay. Interesting. So over 3/4, therefore, thereabouts, have built attacks. Specifically, maybe not used canned ones, I guess. Of the 119, 39 did not ever receive ransom payments. So that's good. That's what... 39 divided by 119. 32% of those infected by Lockbit did not get a ransomware payment, and 75 who did not. So actually, 120 of the 194, 39 plus 75, 114 did not get any kind of ransomware payments because they didn't engage in negotiation, but they also didn't receive any payments, obviously. So roughly half of the 194 affiliates did not receive any kind of payments. So 50%, that's not bad. Roughly half. My numbers are from my own adding in my head and the Missouri school system. So take it as it will. Got to go to Topgolf last week. I like Topgolf. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, I don't know how to play golf. Well, you don't need to know how to play golf. You just whack the ball, and you can either whack for 200 yards or you can whack for 25, and depending on the game you're playing, you win. I think the people who ended up winning did not have a 200-yard drive. So, hey, Fix It. Oh, you're listening while falling asleep. This just in, Fix It says that break-sec education is good for curing insomnia. That's excellent to hear. Thank you, Fix It, for I'm a cure for insomnia. I appreciate. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate you hanging out while you're falling asleep, and I'll try to create some dulcet tones here while Fix It is hanging out, waiting for the Lord Somnus to drift her off to sleep. So yeah, well, good for the lock, good for U.S., U.K., and Australia, making it happen and unmasking Lockbit. These are the kinds of stories you want to see at events or reports that are. Sorry, Fix It. Sorry about that. It's I'm just glad to help where I can. So. But it's good to see folks working together in the Five Eyes to bring these people out into the light and maybe shaming or maybe sharing their information. I appreciate that. I will definitely try not to be too entertaining. Uh, I want to cure your insomnia, not enhance it. So there you go. Yeah. But I guess if we can, these people aren't hurting for money, right? Having $10 million as a reward for who could reveal his identity, and then also freezing assets. He probably has liquid assets or other assets that he can survive off of, and Lockbit is not completely offline. So they'll be able to continue working in somewhat of a limited capacity. But as we've seen, you can slow these folks down, and either they'll stop being the Lockbit group, and then in a couple of months they'll come back as, Lockbit V2, whatever that is. We've seen that before. I think somebody mentioned Sandworm. There have been other crews that have shut down because we can't do work as Radiant Weasel, so now we're Fabricy Weasel or something. So maybe the link here grab this. I mean, the fact that they've gotten decryption keys is great. Let's make sure you can load that up. Okay, take the bracket off the end so the page will actually load for you there. Victims network, maliciousness, 12 hours. This infrastructure in 3 companies. Countries was seized by members of the Ops Kronos task force. 28 servers belonging to Lockbit affiliates have also been taken down. Okay, so what it sounds like is maybe some of the infrastructure they took down in February. Is this February? 20th of February, maybe. I don't want to say, man. Hopefully the administrator or the guy that they outed, maybe there was artifacts on the servers themselves that outed them to who they were, based on user IDs or something. So, by the way, Walt CPO Parker over there, had mentioned in our Discord these nice little boxes. They're like NUCs, but they have discrete graphics. They have an AMD Ryzen CPU, but they also have a GPU that they can hook up and use for. This would actually be a cheap streaming rig if you wanted to use it for a streaming rig as a secondary PC and a 2 PC setup. So good find, Walt, if you are interested in, it also would be, I'm not gonna break any records for cracking hashes or what have you, but could be a nice little system there for that. So I had a couple things that I was going to talk about. Where is it? Yeah, so how's everybody doing? How's, I know y'all were gone, y'all missed me. It's, something that, is on everybody's like, oh my God, please let the drought end and have Brian on streaming and stuff. I'm actually the only one in my house right now. My wife is at an on-site, ironically enough. Got on a plane Monday morning at 7 a.m. and she'll be back tomorrow night. And my daughter is out at college getting smart and going to kick ass and change the world. So just me in the house with my cats and our fur babies. They missed me. Girlfriend wanted to do gaming, needed a system to do it, didn't want to move the existing system. It's the one I'm using to type this. Oh, that makes sense. When you say gaming, what are you looking at there, Walt? Are you looking like the Apex Legends or whatever? I mean, that's not a bad system. I mean, that's great if you're wanting. It comes in blue too. I was like, oh, that's nice. Something other than black, I think, for the colors. So it has a Radeon graphics in it. Yeah, I mean, OBS will handle this easily, and I think most any decent games would be able to handle this. It's a 7 series, not a 9 series GPU. So. Yeah, it'll still push some pixels. So And it runs Windows 11, so it has TPM in it. Sorry. Oh, Star Wars: The Old Republic. Okay. Okay. It has 32 gigs of RAM. NUC. I am not a fan of the NUC type of form factor because I think it's too specialized. If something breaks, you have to. You're shit out of luck, right? The couple NUCs that I had, one had a CMOS battery issue where it actually wouldn't hold the time, and then once the battery died in it or it malfunctioned, it would never reset the time. I want to say I bought that from someone else. MMO from 2011. Okay, you know what? It still runs, right? It still runs. I just saw that they were turning off some servers for an MMO that had been running for a while, and people were very unhappy about that. Now, Nintendo, I think it was Nintendo's Mario Kart shut down, server shut down. Yeah, so if you're they shut down Mario Kart servers April 8th. Wow. Okay, so they're going to shut down 3DS and Wii U servers. It'll be impossible to play 3DS and Wii U video games online. Affected systems will be the Wii U and the 3DS family consoles. Splatoon, Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Brothers will no longer offer online modes for these servers after they're shut down. That's a problem. Yeah, Splatoon got shut down. Yeah. Hey, Beta Wolf, what's up? Bought a 2-year warranty from Amazon. Usually don't get insurance. $30 is cheap for fixing the device. Yeah. Yeah. Nintendo clarifies that for the time being, it will still be possible to update video games or require patches, and will also re-download anything that was purchased prior to the closure of the 3DS and Wii U eShops on March 2023. Yeah. It's not the first time that servers have been shut down for MMOs where people are like, oh, well, we should probably figure out how to make this work. Way back in the day, probably before some of you were born, there was a game called Asheron's Call that I used to play the fuck out of. Not bad graphics for the time, considering this was I was playing that on Diego Garcia, so it was 2000. Nerd. Yeah, this was even before World of Warcraft was an MMO. So it was yeah, boy. I mean, it's a little blocky, but you got to remember it's 2000. And I was playing this in the middle of the Indian Ocean on a 56K dial-up modem, and it was actually playing really well. My ping times were around 500-600 milliseconds, but worked really, really well. Yeah, I mean, but anyway, to my point, this was so popular that they came out with Asheron's Call 2. Updated graphics, you had mounts and all this stuff, and Turbine, created this great game. It was very similar to Ultima Online and EverQuest, which I think Ultima Online is still going, and EverCrack is still going on as well. But when Asheron's Call 2 came out, it lasted like 3 years, and then everybody went back to Asheron's Call. Even with the updated graphics, and then there was Dark Age of Camelot and all that stuff that came out at the same time. But yeah, it was nice. And when it died, when Turbine said, yeah, we're going to shut this down, there's actually a software, let's see, Asheron's Call servers. Somebody they figured out how to replicate the server infrastructure and the protocols used to do that, and people are playing Asheron's Call with homemade servers, and it was really nice. Yeah, private servers. Yeah, one of the downsides to having playing MMOs is you don't have the ability to control when the servers are going to go down, and so yeah, to their point, a lot of private emulated servers. They play on SeedSo with a late 2004 patch. There are a lot of servers available for play styles. Here's a list of those servers. There's a ton of servers out there for, with different things. They're adding new content, custom content ongoing. So, I mean, these are active servers. If you wanted to play Asheron's Call, the only thing is you need a copy of the game. And I think they do have a copy of the game available, but it's just interesting how you can continue with that. And, Turbine didn't have any issues with it. So I made my own WoW Mango server back in the day. Well, there you go. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting how a 25-year-old plus MMO is still ongoing, and it's nice to see. And Turbine, I think, was a French gaming company, so they gave the source code up, or they allowed it to happen. So Ultima Online is still go. Well, there you go. So yeah, Ultima Online, Evercrack. I think we called it Evercrack back in the day. EverQuest. Yeah, so you still got EverQuest is still going on, and I don't think the graphics look like the D&D stuff in the background, but yeah, so they still EverQuest 2. So it's just fun to see all those games, and you can play for free. Oh, yeah, Ultima Online, yeah. But yeah, it's just cool that somebody took the time to, I guess, before the games went down or before the servers went down, to analyze the protocols and things like Wireshark or whatever, and got, oh, okay, I can do this or whatever. And Asheron's call server open source. Yeah, there you go. So here's one of the few one of the emulators that they use. It's an open source server emulator and support tool set for Asheron's Call, rebuilt from the ground up by the community following the game world shutdown in 2017. So yeah, I'd stopped playing the game when I got to San Diego in 2001. So it went for another 16 years after that. So utilizing C# and MySQL. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. And of course, as we saw, people are still making content for it. Excellent storyline. I think I would walk around and just ask about the lore and stuff, which a lot of people don't tend to do. But it had raids and had all that stuff in it. So GW2. Oh, Guild Wars. Yeah, Guild Wars. Pre RuneScape graphics, when RuneScape was just RuneScape and not old school. Beta Wolf, by the way, I was playing the game you gave me. I finally figured out how to talk to people. That was nice. I still haven't figured out how to leave town and do anything yet. So I am trying to play the game. I just don't. I'm talking to people, but nothing's happening. So at some point, I'm going to figure out how to get out of town and go and do stuff. So, yeah. Plus, ask me what you think about the art in the region, and I'm like, I don't really want to ask, a servant about art. So that's cool. Yeah, I've talked to a lot of people on that game, and I have yet to actually get anywhere with it, other than, they're like, oh yes, I care probably a little bit for the art in the area. And I'm like, wow, that's telling, bruh. And, it's servant's like, well, I'm a servant, so I don't give a shit about art. So it's interesting, and I'm still working through it. I love the ASCII art, though. I think that's great. Not everything has to have, perfect 4K resolution and fancy shade. But yeah, I'm just in awe of people who can, go through and, they know that the server was going to get shut down on January 31st. So they spent time analyzing the protocols and recreating this from a ground up to, make things happen with the content. So, I mean, we do it all the time. We analyze protocols in things like, Zigbee and what have you. Have you seen the UO hack talk at DEF CON? No, I have not. UO hack DEF CON. Speaking of which, I have filled out the forms to Goon at DEF CON. I'm pretty sure it hasn't been canceled yet, but the jokes are still going to happen, unlike last year. So I will be doing LineCon currently, as long as I filled out the forms correctly, from the 7th through the 13th. So I will be there for DEF CON. So hopefully I won't be working the entire time. I assume that they allow you to take various shifts doing these things. So I'm thinking about some kind of meetup for BreakSec fans, if I have multiple, that will be attending DEF CON. I understand with a big conference like that, and the good thing is we're not spread out over 3 different hotels and 5 acres and shit. So, oh, thank you, Beta Wolf. Doink. There we go. I blindly click on shite that people put in our chat windows. So just remember that. Manfred, 20 years of MMO, RPG hacking, better graphics, and same exploits. Okay. Don't forget to grab yourselves a cup of yaksha tea. Yeah, anyway. He had his lawyer on the phone constantly telling him what not to talk about. Oh my goodness. Okay. My name is Manfred, and okay, independent security evaluator, 400-pound hacker in training. Security evaluators. I'll have to go watch this. Like, DEF CON 25. Okay, so that was what, about 8 years ago, I think. I think so. 4. It says 4 years ago. 2019. Okay, so this was just before the pandemic started. So, undisclosed exploits. I was sold. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can go check that out. I'll have to watch this later on my TV and stuff. It was the last one I went to. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know how much the tickets are for this year. I'm volunteering because I want to give back to the community, and I thought maybe I would learn what to do and not to do if I decide I ever wanted to go down the route of creating yet another conference. Did a lot of what not to do's at my conference that probably hamstrung our conference a little bit, and I feel bad about that. So, cool. So yeah, this is a what, a 45-minute talk. Looks like it was a track talk. So yeah, go check that one out. I'll post this up in our Discord just so that people don't forget it. Hacking MMORPGs. There we go. I know y'all can see that on the screen. I apologize. Probably shouldn't have my Discord up like that, but yeah. So it's I'm looking forward to it. I've never been to DEF CON before. I think somebody was surprised when I said, "Hey, I want to goon for DEF CON," but I've never actually been. I hear a lot of things about DEF CON. Some of it about the line con not being so nice, but they have different options now for that. Instead of having to wait in line for that, you can buy your tickets ahead of time. Let's see, DEF CON tickets. I will have to cancel my hotel room because they were like, hey, you can share a room with someone. I really wanted to go last year, couldn't justify the $3,000 spend. Yeah. So looks like the price at DEF CON 2, $480. Wow. I mean, it is what, 6 days? So it's 8th through 11th. Okay, so I'm gonna be there at least a day and a half before and a day and a half after. Oh yeah, flight's $200. Yeah, I mean, if you can swing, I'm gonna be flying Southwest from San Diego to Vegas, and I won't be taking any computers with me because I probably won't have any need for them, or if I do, I'll have to make sure that my roommate is not an axe murderer, and for that. So the fact that we're at the Los Angeles convention or Las Vegas Convention Center is pretty nice, and it's under one big roof now. It's not like across several venues, or like you have to walk across an 800-degree weather to go to the third venue. So flights from the UK flights to the UK is god awful. I'm going to be over there in June in Dublin, and the flight from San Diego to Dublin, even if I flew direct from LA and drove up to LAX, was still $2,000. US, and the flights to Australia from the States is just obscene, even right now for December. So we canceled our cruise that we were planning on going in Australia and New Zealand in December because the airfare flights for even premium economy was $6,000-$7,000. So it was Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I need a spare kidney. That'll be fine. I've got a spare kidney. I've got 2 of them still. So I'll just donate that one, and then we'll be able to go to Australia. Sounds good. I would offer my liver to any of you poor bastards who have drunk it dead at conferences, but I need it still. So flying to Glasgow in August. Yes, business class was $4,500. Yeah, my wife, she needs to be able to fly business class because she needs to be able to stretch out. She has leg clots, blood clots in her legs sometimes, and it was like $8,000 to $10,000 for a business class fare from LA to Sydney. And we were looking at doing things like breaking it up, going from San Diego to Honolulu to Sydney. But yeah, it was just obscenely expensive right now, and I'm not sure why. So yeah, it comes with a 6-foot bed exactly. If you fly KLM or Lufthansa, I think we were going to go United because we had the points, but yeah, they've changed the way they do points now for frequent flyer miles. It's it flexes. So at the time we were looking, it was 500,000 points for one business class flight, which is obscene. Yeah, I'm assuming Beta Wolf. Yeah, they have to recoup their costs from the past year and a half where they got shafted. So yeah, but anyway, you can go and buy your ticket for DEF CON ahead of time and get whatever badges are available. You can cancel your ticket before January 15th. Oh, to cancel it, you're going to pay a $34 cancellation fee. After that is an $84 cancellation fee. And you get swag. I get a t-shirt, which is kind of cool, and some kind of badge, human badge. I have no interest in any of those badges, and I'm sure our t-shirts will be black. So, yeah. But no, who are you going to call? I believe it's the Ghostbusters. Sorry, Beta Wolf. What is Ghostbusters is the correct answer. I'm afraid you lost 1,000 points there, and you'll have to turn in your geek card. So yeah, sorry about that. I think even if you don't go to DEF CON, there's quite a few conferences happening, sub-conferences during that time that you probably will get a better experience. I would imagine if you don't want to go to DEF CON proper. There's several that happen during that time. But yeah, I'm excited about what this means. May not be after DEF CON, considering I'm supposed to be there for 6 nights and 7 days. So we'll see what happens. If they would just port UO over to work on mobile, I'd be all over it. Don't they have code for Ultima Online Mobile? There you go. First mobile client for Ultima Online. Ding. No, that didn't work. That's not good. Google giveth and Google taketh away. So there you go. Yeah. Of course, this is on a fat iPad here, but looks like you can play it on your mobile device. You can get it on iOS or Android. Let you play UO on the go. So there you go. You can forge all your helmets and all your things. See it in action. Click to play the video. Okay. Oh, made with Unity. New config. Here, you speed it up a little bit. Her files downloaded. There you go. So that's what it looks like. Bank. They use the shitty keyboard, but so there you go. Looks like you can play on your. It's got a little hamburger icon up here. So yeah, it's definitely on a. Interesting. Okay. Walking around in your monk's robe and what have you. This is obviously somebody using the. They've got their thumb on the screen, so they're moving the character with the thumb on the screen. It's indicating that the screen is being touched in this case, or it's a virtual joystick. I have a couple games where you can use a virtual joystick, or you can, move your phone like, you're playing an old Nintendo game where, your character's got to jump or something like that, and the controller goes with you. Yeah, so there you go. You can play your Ultima Online now, Beta Wolf, on your Mac or iPod, or iPad. So I actually was looking at, so the other thing I found at the office was everybody uses MacBooks. And I'm sitting there, just my, senior TPMness with my shitty HP laptop and whatever. And everybody's like, oh yeah, you should get this, whatever. I still have 6 months on my hardware refresh, so I can't get a new one. But I was actually looking online on Apple for like, what would it cost to get one? Because I was like, oh, if I get something that's beefy enough, I could get rid of the computers that I've got. And so I was looking at like an M3 Max or whatever, and I immediately said I noped out of that because no, not iPad Pros. Jesus, I don't even know what this is. What the icon thing. Stupid. Yeah. Jesus. Geezer font or something. I don't know. But yeah, so you go and look at the M3 Maxes because I was like, oh, well, I'll just get, the way I bought MacBooks before, it was, or the way I was doing the MacBooks before, it was like you max out your GPU, you max out your CPU, you max out your RAM, and then you just deal with it. Well, now they have, an integrated GPU. And so I was looking at, a max version of this, and I was like, oh, okay, well, it's already $31.99 for 14 core CPU, 30 core GPU. And then I was like, you've got additional bits you can do. So 36 gigs instead of 32 or 40 or what have you, 36 gigs of unified memory. You can go up to 96 or even 128, but it was like, even with, and I can't max out the SSDs or anything because that'd be, easily a $10,000 laptop, which is like, that's obscene. And I'd be divorced in a heartbeat. So yeah, the maximum is like $39.99. So I'm up to what, $6,000 for a freaking laptop right now if I did all that. But yeah, so $36.99. Oh, they don't even have the if you pick the maximum CPUs and GPUs, you have to have a minimum of 48 gigs of RAM. I don't think Windows needs a minimum of 48 gigs of RAM to run. So, hey, Digital Warhead, the unified memory thing is so annoying. I understand technical idea, but still annoying. Yeah, I assume it's because they want direct access without any kind of weird connector or anything. Plus, it's a different form factor. But thank you, Digital Warhead. Appreciate you subscribing, sir. Yeah. I figured if I bought one of these at $36.99, I probably wouldn't need another laptop for at least 6 months before, it got done. 26 what? Oh, 26 months. Yeah. Memory's on the processor and sock. Yeah, it's all. I have that, I think. Where's, oh yeah, I didn't. Okay. So yeah, I enabled it because I think I disabled it when we had our interview with somebody because I didn't want that stuff blowing up on their stuff. No. I'm not buying us all iPad Pros. Yeah. Okay. No. I'll fix that, Digital Warhead. Yeah, I do appreciate everybody who subscribes and helps out when they can. It's not compulsory. I do appreciate everybody helping out there though. But yeah, it was like, even with just base minimum, I'm looking at $4,000 because I haven't even factored tax and anything into this. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with my Lenovo i9 right now. I think I'm good. I don't need any of that. So, but yeah, they're beefy. I was like, oh, I love the hardware. Not a fan of the OS. I was like, can I put Windows on it? And they're like, everybody stopped and looked at me like I just, kicked their grandmother in the teeth or something. And I said, yeah, I guess not. Guess not. So I think you can still buy like the 2019 MacBooks so you can put Windows 11 or something on it. But yeah, I could get an M2 or something like that. I was just like, I wanted to buy something that I could still use in like 5 years realistically, instead of having to, start over or buy a new one every year or some shit. I mean, I don't even need a M3 Max. I could probably get away with an M3 Pro, but it's still $2,500. So I'll use my i9 Lenovo for a few more years and see what happens. But yeah, it's just one of those things. So what's this? AffinitySerif.com. Am I supposed to click on that? Am I gonna click? I'm gonna click on that. Yeah. Ew. No, no, no. See, I don't want anything that's going to lock me into a specific ecosystem. Award-winning photo editing. I don't need photo editing. Graphic design. I got Canva and page layout software. No, I don't. I don't need Dreamweaver. So, um, oh, that's good, Walt. Yeah. Oh, it works on PC as well. Well, I have DaVinci. DaVinci's, DaVinci works fairly well. I've friend of mine, actually, I was talking to somebody at work. One of the things they're like, oh, yeah, they do a lot of graphics stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm learning DaVinci Resolve. And he's like, I love that program. I was like, yeah, I didn't mind dropping the $300 for that one because, it's really nice. So I was futzing around with it just recently. 19 beta 2 just came out. So um, there we go. So I'm just, working through editing some stuff for that. And, got my audio here, and I'm playing around and got my little sessions going on. And that was a take there. So it's nice. I went from Reaper for digital audio directly to this, and there's just a lot of stuff you can do with it. So and include the paid version comes with subtitles, so you can create your subtitles as you're going through, and you can see them in the upper corner there. So but yeah, I like playing around with it. I love Canva. I actually made that starting video bit there. Canva is amazing. I actually paid for a yearly subscription of that. But Affinity Designer 2. Okay. The one thing that I hated about OS X was their Office suite was just fucking garbage. I'm so happy they have Microsoft Office now for that. Better supported. I think for a while there, Microsoft Office was stuck at 2011, even in 2017. So with Canva buying Affinity, they get professional tools, and Affinity gets much more funding. Okay, I didn't know that they were buying. Canva was being bought by Affinity. Yeah, Canva is just it's stupid simple. It's just stupid simple. I love it. I took a lot of what I was working on for the logo for BreakSec Ed, and actually created icons for that. So yeah, sign in Canva, you bastard. There we go. But yeah, so I was creating animated GIFs and stuff. It's super easy to create, and it's all in 4K or in 1080p or what have you. Yeah, it's just great. I can understand why they're making Fat Loot now. So, but it's super easy to add things, or get licensing for audio or video or different fonts or whatever. It's great. Oh no, Canva. Yeah, Canva bought Affinity. Okay. Yeah, they acquired. Well, they're making Fat Loot, so I understand now why Canva's doing that. But yeah, so I created a bunch of stuff. I actually made I had business cards I was making. Content creator for that. Y'all can check me out. For that. I was testing out various things. My logo and icon stuff here. It's stupid simple. I cannot believe I could be creating creative stuff like this. So yeah. Well, if Affinity was, I was actually looking at trying to create a Goon T-shirt for B-Side San Diego as well. So this is what I came up with. If you know that reference, then good on you. You definitely win the internets today. So I was trying to create that for folks. But yeah, so it's you can see where I got my blue background from. Yeah, look at that. See, I got my blue background from there too. So not shamelessly stolen. It was part of the licensing. But yeah, it was. You can do whatever you want with it. You can move and modify. It's genius. It's genius. And somebody's making $1 billion on this shit. So this part of the podcast brought to you by Canva. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. But it is the Penguins gang. Yes, well done there, Beta Wolf. Yeah, I was trying to make a goon shirt for somebody. I was like, oh yeah, I remember it being part of something, the Grand Order of Occidental Nighthawks, and sent that to my friend Nick Fury. He's like, yes, let's make that happen. So, gives you opportunities to make, paraphernalia and sell your stuff in the stores as well. It's like a one-stop shop, and yeah, it's really nice. You can do all kinds of shit with it. So, anywho, yeah, that was Penguin's Gang. Let's see. So, no, not that one. No, not that one. Let's see. Batman. There we go. So yeah, the Goons. The Goon Squad was the Grand Order of Occidental Nighthawks. So yeah. Yep. That was funny. So original said 12.2, now it's 12.4, and it's freaking 4. Yeah. Yep. Oh. Amazon not delivering on time or what have you. I'm actually waiting for something too, so yeah, I'm actually waiting for a package myself. Was trying to get that delivered, so I love the old Batman. Yeah, Burgess Meredith playing Penguin. Yeah, delightfully irreverent. So, USPS. Oh, well, that's another whole thing altogether, right? So I know this came up in our Slack because I had shared it. There's a vulnerability that is currently named by my, and to be full disclosure, I did work at Leviathan Security, and I know the people that, well, I know one of them that was working on this tunnel vision thing, and vulnerability. So first, I think Krebs first broke it, and they say that Dan Gooden I want to believe that Dan Gooden just won't absolutely report on any piece of shit. So I think that it is legitimate. I'm actually talking with my friends at Leviathan and the researchers Lizzie and them about getting them on to talk about this vulnerability. It's named. That comes with all the negative connotations that it comes with. Some people are already saying, it's not really, a legitimate issue. But I'm interested. They're saying the victim's traffic can be decloaked and routed through the attacker directly. There's a video demonstration here, which, oh shit, did they make themselves an icon as well? Oh, yes, look at them. Good job. Somebody's been playing with Canva too, I think. Yes. Yeah, Lizzie. I know Lizzie for several years. Yeah, I was like, somebody's been playing with Canva. Yeah. But yeah, so you can go check out the video. They're talking about decloaking. It uses an option called option 121, which allows the DHCP server to override default routing rules. And apparently this affects most all VPNs out there. I don't know if 121 has to be honored or if that's something that can be enabled. So we're going to get Lizzie and them on as soon as they can. I'm assuming they're being inundated with contact requests. But Lizzie and Danny will be able to get them on to talk about this stuff, and I'm very interested. One, because Lizzie's amazing researcher. She's been doing this for several years. She's been a consultant, and now she's doing PM work, but she's still got her hands in a lot of the technical stuff. And it's a really old bug. So it's like one of those ones that you find in like, this was in like, get text since 1997 or something like that. And it's just an interesting method by which you can, it works, I guess, in full and split tunnel VPNs. It's not just in, you can't just say, well, I'm going to, everything's going to go over full tunnel now, because it's still the same. So RFC. Okay, so this is the classless static route option for DHCP version 4. Option 121. Sounds like order 66 or something like that. It's like, okay. 121. There you go. Classless routing option format. Code for this option is 121 and its minimum length is 5 bytes. This option can contain one or more static routes, each of which consists of a destination descriptor and the IP address of the router that should be used to reach that destination. It says delivered, but you saw no truck. Yeah, you know what? When I lived in Seattle, when the USPS would deliver mail, I say deliver mail, I could see our mailbox out my window, and then I would get something saying, oh, we tried to deliver it, but it didn't happen. I was like, bitch, the truck didn't even come to the mailbox. You can't even deliver if you don't even show up. So yeah, I had problems with that. Yeah. I wonder if they used Amazon to do it, because I see an Amazon truck pull up. Oh, well, there you go. Maybe. Usually it's the other way around. Amazon will take them to the USPS, or UPS will send them to the USPS shop doing that last mile thing. But anyway, yeah, I hope that you get a knock on your door and there's your package for hopefully your dog or whoever. So yeah, so this is the classless route option format. So it sounds like there's really two problems here. It's VPN is allowing DHCP to override what routes are being suggested, but then your DHCP server on your network also is injecting these CIDR routes or classless routes. So I'm wondering what the fix is, right? If you can't fix it in VPN, can you fix it in your DHCP? Can you turn that off? Now, what happens if somebody sets up a DHCP server on your network with 121 set up, and obviously having another DHCP server on your network that's sending out IP addresses is not an ideal configuration. It's a fucking nightmare. I got a package to deliver to your door. Uh-oh. Who's that, Digital? Is that you? Let me turn on my ring and see if you're outside my door. If you are, that would be great. You can come and hang out on the stream. Unless you know where Beta Wolf lives and you're in Seattle doing that. So, but yeah, it's interesting. So this 121 is problematic, right? And I guess the point is that they can decrypt traffic, can read, drop, or modify leaked traffic, and the victim maintains their connection to both the VPN and the internet. Manipulating the DHCP server allows the server to override default route rules and send VPN traffic through the local IP address. Yeah, so it almost sounds like you have to own up the DHCP server on the same network as the VPN user and set DHCP configuration to use itself as a gateway. So there's I don't know if that's something you would have to disable on the DHCP server, and what that might cause if you disabled 121 on the network. Also, there's different DHCP implementations. So does it happen with Windows DHCP versus the Linux version of DHCP, or the BSD version? I don't know how many implementations of DHCP are, but are they all the same? Do they all support that RFC? Because if they do, then there must be a way to disable it. So it's interesting. It seems like there's got to be some things in place that to make that happen. Yeah. Nah. Oh, yes, Digital Warhead. Yes, out of context there, Beta Wolf. Yes. If Digital Warhead is standing at your door in a trench coat, don't open the door. Just saying. I don't know. Probably shouldn't have said that. HR is going to come and talk to me probably. So yeah, I'm really interested in talking with Lizzie and Danny about this to see where it is Danny, right? I'm not saying that incorrectly. let's see here. Where is the freaking names of the people? Anyway, so yeah, Lizzie and Danny. Yes, Lizzie and Danny. I got it right. Okay, cool. But yeah, it's good to see Leviathan putting out research like this. Very happy, very proud of Lizzie and Danny, of them getting it happening. And we'll see. So Android's the only operating system that fully immunizes VPN apps from attack because it doesn't implement option 21. Okay, so it sounds like there's a way to disable this or to make it so that it's not possible to be done, but it seems like it has to be done at the DHCP level. There's no complete fixes when apps run on Linux. There's a setting that minimizes the effects, but even then, tunnel vision can be used to exploit a side channel to de-anonymize destination traffic and perform targeted denial service attacks. Ew. Network firewalls can also be configured to deny inbound and outbound traffic to and from physical interface. Remedy is problematic for two reasons. VPN user connecting to an untrusted network has no ability to control a firewall. True. And it opens the same side channel present with the Linux mitigation. Ew, gross. Yeah, so that's interesting because this has huge implications for things like routers and because most everybody uses not everybody uses Linksys, but everyone uses whatever router comes with their ISP. Whatever DHCP functions come from their home office, their Soho routers or whatever. So it's probably a Linux implementation or something like that, or some sort of option that's not easily controllable, right? So I'm excited to hear about this, and hopefully we can get them on to talk about this soon. Yeah, it didn't need a name, maybe, but I think 2024 dash something 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 just doesn't have the same cache. Doesn't have the same cache as a name. And it's nice. So very interesting. Yeah, Dan Gooden, it's a good write up. Traffic being transmitted out of the VPN's encrypted tunnel. So yeah, it's an anonymization thing. So if you're using Tor, for instance, I mean, this will also be a way, and it would be interesting to find out if this was how things like de-anonymization can occur. I'm sure that there's some law enforcement folks or some Five Eyes organizations that have 3 letters that are like, oh, well, that would have been nice to have. And you own up the DHCP server and you can de-anonymize that traffic. It will be difficult to patch. I'm actually thinking about going to OpenWall and seeing if what the prevailing opinion is about this. Let's see, OpenWall DHCP. No, OpenWall mailing list. A lot of folks in there tend to have opinions about these things. OpenWall mailing list. Okay, there we go. OSS, kernel hardening. Yeah, probably OSS security. Yeah. Let's see. Tunnel vision hasn't made itself known yet. There's some other CVEs though. Tiny proxy. Multiple vulnerabilities in Riot OS, whatever that is. glibc, of course, advisory security updates. We got Stack Overflow issues in various places. Null pointer crack. Wow. So glibc still has a ton of vulnerabilities in 2.15 and elsewhere. Only present in the NSCD binary. Okay. I haven't seen. Okay, so apparently it's not enough to know, but the fact that DHCPD is one of the more well-known open source products, maybe it's worth a look. So let me see if I can figure out what the CVE is for that. Let's see. Is that it? 20, 24, 36, 61. Yar, I think so. Nope, I don't think that's it. Different one. Let's see. Because you've got Cisco, you've got F5, you've got all these folks that are probably, concerned about this. Oh, IVPN. So yeah, you've got other IVPN systems looking at it too. Open source audited and privacy focused VPN service with WireGuard and ad tracker blocking. Okay, so yeah, this would be a problem for a privacy focused VPN trying to preserve anonymity there. So, and network namespaces are the only way I think it works for Linux if you are implementing namespaces. Yes. Where's the CVE? Oh, 30. Okay, it is 3661. My bad. I failed to grok that down here, but so yeah, it sounds like it's going to be I want to say complicated. Either the VPNs are going to have to disallow injected routes in DHCP. It may actually be easier to fix the VPN issue and not necessarily the DHCP issue, especially if this is part of the RFC. In many cases, it's working as intended, right? Having option 121, that's the way it's working, right? They'd have to change the RFC on some of these things or disallow it. I'd imagine there's probably a need to address that if that's the case. So, yeah. Close that. Close that. Yeah. Oh, this is the article again. So. Yeah, I wonder which will be easier to patch, the VPN or the DHCP servers. And what would you patch in the DHCP servers? It seems like it's working as intended. So. Oh yeah, so this is the Leviathan blog here from May 6th. Lizzie did mention to me that there's some interesting research coming out at the end of the month, and I was like, oh, really? Cool. We should have you on talk about that. And that was before I knew about this. So I didn't know actually about tunnel vision until it got posted, but she did say that it was going to be some interesting research. So it's cool. It's just one of those things you find, right? We're using the term decloaking to refer to this effect. Okay. User transmits packets that are never encrypted by the VPN. Oh, yeah. So if Tor is a VPN kind of thing, this would definitely affect things like Tor, where you're trying to remain anonymous, but you're going to leak packets out like WebRTC kind of stuff. You're gonna, attacker can snoop the traffic if it's never encrypted. That could be bad. So, all right. Well, hopefully it happens. Let me check my email and see if they've replied back. I did tell them I'm good for the rest of the week from 2 to 4 p.m. Pacific time. They are also in Seattle, so should be able to make that happen. My guess is now that it's on Ars Technica and everything, they're being inundated with more popular, potentially, podcasts and streams. I can't pull that friend card like I normally do, so makes sense if they wanted to be on like Paul Security Weekly or on Risky Business or some of the other more popular sites or blogs or podcasts or streams. So, okay, so let's close some stuff here. There we go. Hopefully Fix-It's asleep. Jesus, opened up like 20 pen. Oh, speaking of that, what was that? Apparently, so somebody had 7,000 tabs open in their Firefox and lost them, but according to Firefox, got them back. 7,000 tabs. Yeah, there we go. So I don't know why this person doesn't know what a bookmark is, or a collection, or what have you. But apparently somebody named Hazel said they had 7,000 tabs lost. So sodium pen, 7,470 tabs. And it's cool that their profile cache works, and that they were able to restore that. I'm just, what are you doing with 7,000 tabs? I don't know. I have 20 tabs open and I need to close some shit, right? It feels like I have to close. I need to close tabs, and anytime I have a lot of tabs open, it's always to like multiple documents at work, or I have like, I think I've got, Gmail open a handful of times or something. It's like, I really, my wife has so many tabs open on her phone, it stops showing the number and just shows a happy icon instead. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I have two browsers. I use the Mozilla Firefox, which I have 8 tabs there, and I have 17 tabs on my. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Some of these are like, okay, I don't need that one anymore. Don't need that one anymore. Don't need that one. Nope. Here's 5 tabs open for the same site, the same look. The Wayback Machine has about a dozen, which I just closed. So now I have no tabs open on my browser. It's just that simple. I know that some people enjoy liking 2 different browsers. Ew, okay. But yeah, it's just interesting to see all those tabs be opened, and was able to get that back. Hazel says the memory impact is marginal. The session file, which contains the tab information, is 70 megs, and Firefox only loads a tab in memory if I've opened it recently. That is true. The newer versions of Firefox sleep the tabs, make sure they don't absorb resources if they haven't been refreshed or looked at in a while. So my problem is how do you click on something with 7,000 tabs? It's like how many of those 7,000 are like email or something? They can't possibly have 7,000 different tabs of something. So yeah, just somebody says looks like needed an intervention. That's pretty funny. But yeah, I have how many tabs open? I've got 15. What's my So right now I'm using about 2 gigs of memory right now with just DaVinci Resolve. Or no, 7 gigs of memory on average, just having these tabs open as they are. So, and that's Firefox 124, I think. So I can't imagine what 7,000 tabs is doing, even if they are asleep or they're not using resources. That's some data hoarding right there, I guess, or something. How many of those are now 404 if they actually went back and visited that tab? It's now, dead tab or whatever. She keeps all those tabs open because she likes to scroll back and see clusters of tabs from months ago. It's like a trip down memory lane. Yeah, it's called right-click, bookmark, or right-click, move tab to bookmarks. There's ways to store those tabs in something where you can bookmark it later. Yeah. Good Lord. Computer's performance. Yeah, it only loads a tab if I've opened it recently. So that's the other thing. If the site is dead, you're going to get a 404 error, or you'll have to open it in, Internet Archive. Her computer still runs normally, not hogs all the RAM on her system. Furthermore, Hazel told PC Mag the session took less than a minute to reload, meaning it wasn't a drag on her system. Eef. I'm up to 128 gigs, and that's not because of the tabs. That's sorted with what I got. Need it for Lychee and Blender. Oh, well, yeah, Lychee and Blender, definitely. You're going to need that. This instance demonstrates, see, she should probably do like a commercial spot for Firefox. Look, I have 7,000 tabs open and I'm only using 300 gigs of memory or whatever. Yeah, so yeah, tab unloading occurred. The problem is it still is a refresh, right? So it's locked in that one spot, but it is still, you know, oh, Firefox 93. So in 2021, they followed suit with 1 year later. I was using Sleeping Tabs plugin for a while. So hello, that'd be my spawn. Um, I'm streaming right now to ones of people. Oh, okay. What's wrong with your car? Well, I had bird poop on my car. Remember, it pooped inside my car. Yeah. I don't know how that happened, though. Well, the windows were down, and it probably did a drive-by on me, a little fucker. Um, sorry. It's now back to your stream, which is already in progress. Yeah, so I mean, RAM limiter features. I mean, it's great to have 7,000 tabs, but yeah, anyway, to each their own. Maybe we should have an intervention or something. No, I was talking to my spawn, my daughter. Yeah, she came home from college where she's learning how to, be a benevolent dictator like her old man. And yeah, we're still trying to figure out. She's still trying to figure out what she wants to do. So you should get you should get a flashing on-air light for when you're streaming. I would, but where would I put it? Because my background is completely, gone because of that. So, what was that? Like a there you go. Get something like that. Yeah, that would work. Above the door frame. Oh, well, I knew she was here, and I left the door slightly ajar because my cats will just yowl outside the door. So I was just, this was her long day, so she's been at school from like 9 to 4:30. Normally she goes in around 11. She has a couple classes, and she's back by 3:30. So today's her long day, and yeah, yeah, I could have like a sign or something that flashes, or like on air, on air, on air, on air, that kind of thing. Hate handles. Well, I don't remember following you, but here we are. How we do? Well, hate handles. I'm doing great. Thank you for coming and hanging out. You might have followed me from such raids as Tiberius or Fix It 42. Or just Devon, if at all possible. Good friend of ours. So yeah, just hanging out. We're learning about tunnel vision. We talked about expensive ass MacBooks, and somebody suggested I get an on-air sign that I can put above my door that flashes so that I don't get bothered. Used an Adafruit mag tag sign on my door when I was streaming back when I had a metal door. Yeah, I have sliding doors with glass panels in them. Very well, not similar to the doors I used to have in my old studio. They were like French doors, so they shut. These do absolutely nothing to stop the acoustics coming in or out of the door. And yeah, so, but I have to keep them open in case my cat spawn children come in and want to bug the shit out of me. So, but yeah, we were talking. Oh, and also the person with 7,000 tabs open. So, what? Used a Raspberry Pi to make a bathroom notification so the office can tell if someone is in the bathroom. No. Well, okay, Beta. Well, why? Why is it because the bathroom was so far away that you had to? Yeah, as long as there's no camera on it, I guess. I would imagine, yeah, you'd want to have a light or something, but yeah, you could. Seems to me that you could just when the door would shut, a light could come on or something like that, and that would be like an indicator. Yeah, HR definitely needs to be listening to this. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Beta Wolf. No, it's an open floor plan office, and because people want to use the bathroom, but then get up and realize someone's using it. Oh, just red and green light. Okay, well that's nice. Did it need a Raspberry Pi though? Thinking, I'm imagining that. I'm imagining there was some kind of mechanism where when weight was put on the seat or if the lid moved or something like that, it would light off the, hey, bathrooms in use kind of thing. You could have expanded it so it was like, the sync wasn't activated. Ew, that kind of thing. So, well, because you'd have a little sensor on the sink, and it's like, okay, there was no water in the sink, after 15 seconds or something. Yeah, it's okay, Beta Wolf. It's all good. Obviously, there was a need for it, as long as you weren't, being weird about it. I mean. Oh yeah, play the intro. Yeah, or have a. Oh yeah, that would. Yeah, that one would probably get you in trouble with HR. It'd be like, the the problem is it'd be like your boss or something, and you get the nuclear warning sign or something like that. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe you don't shake hands with the boss. um yeah, that's what I was thinking. The you know you could have been, it could have been excellent too. It could have been like, hey, you were out of toilet paper or something like that, and it's like, hey, replace the toilet paper, or activate the air freshener thing many times because today was chilly day at the office or something like that. You could any number of things without a camera could be used in this case. And that's one thing I like about the Raspberry Pis, where it is eminently usable in many cases, but I find that they're no longer cheap. So I worked IT support for places with storefronts, and the amount of bathroom tickets we got was unreasonable. Oh, you know what? I was telling everybody about my on-site I went to in LA. So I was at the headquarters up there, and there are definitely signs in the bathroom. It's like, and the sign said, "Can't flush your problems away, submit a ticket." And I'm like, wait, are we talking psychologically, or are we talking the bathroom? I was like, should I put in a ticket? No, probably not. But yeah, it was interesting I forgot what it was like to work in a office, because I've never worked in an office with this company. So it was weird to see the administrivia of being in an office like this. So yeah, psychological, can't flush your problems away. Yeah. Of course, then you get into problems like, is the bot in the bathroom like monitoring for other stuff? So it could get really weird. But I could definitely see using it for like air freshener, or toilet paper being out. That way you didn't have to submit tickets. That would be great. But yeah, I hate myself. Bring the extra large plunger. Yeah. Yeah, that would be rough. But oh my God. Yeah. So if you have 7,000 tabs, now you know that Firefox can handle that. And I imagine that this is like a badge of honor for the folks at Mozilla. They're all like, oh, look how awesome our browser is doing. It's okay, Beta Wolf. I think it's great. I think you solved a problem that was plaguing a lot of people, because I used to work in a place that you had to walk quite a ways to get to the server room. And, it's one of those things where if you forgot your badge, then you're walking basically the length of a football field or better when you realize, oh shit, I forgot my badge to get into the server room. This is back when you had data centers and stuff like that. And the one thing I always thought of was like, hey, maybe there's some kind of indicator or something, or maybe you just have your badge on you all the time. But it wasn't like that. But it would be like, it'd be nice if you walked 30 feet away from your badge and something would go off and you'd be like, oh, right, forgot my badge. No, instead I walk the length of a football field, get there, and I'm like, oh crap. And then I got to walk back to my desk and then turn around and walk all the way back. Finally, I solved my problem by just setting up my CD-ROM drive at my desk on my Solaris box as an NFS share. and then I could SSH to the servers in the server room and then mount my CD-ROM drive as an NFS share on the Solaris boxes back there, and then I didn't have to walk back there. Your phone is your badge. Actually, I don't think I could take my badge into or my phone into the server room at that time. So, but yeah, finally I figured out how to be more lazy, and I just made my CD-ROM an NFS share and saved it. It was slower, but then it saved me like multiple trips of having to go in, hit the button to pull the tray out of the Solaris box, put a CD in, close the CD-ROM, run back to my desk, mount the CD, find out I didn't have the right CD, grab the right CD, go back to it was a pain in the ass. Thought it was, digital warhead, it's great. It was a great idea. Exactly. Raspberry Pis are damned expensive. I was actually looking at them online. Raspberry Pis. It's one reason I was like, hey, don't buy a Raspberry Pi. You could go and buy like a ThinkCenter M93, and it's probably just as expensive. So yeah, you can buy a Raspberry Pi 5, and it is, let's see, you get an 8 gig one, or say 4 gig. Let's do the 4 gig. Micro Center. I don't even know where the fucking Micro Center is. Yeah, it's like $60 for a Raspberry Pi. They used to be like 35, and but it's all good. So yeah, you go to Amazon and you get a Raspberry Pi here, and I think they're about the same price. Raspberry Pi. You can always get a 3 or 5, but yeah, so an entire starter kit is $170. The single board 8 gig is $100. Arguably it doesn't run anything but Linux, so you could get like a ThinkCenter, which I still will. You can get them for $86. You can buy this for cheaper than it's got 8 gigs of RAM. Hey, sweetie. And it's got 128 gig of SSD. It's got USB 3 on it. Will run Windows 10, but it runs the Ubuntu flawlessly. And, it's not the same size as it's probably about, it's probably about 2 of my cell phones wide. And it's about yay thick. But it, runs great. And you can upgrade the RAM. You can upgrade, and it's arguably cheaper than a Raspberry Pi. And will do more for you. So, really nice. I actually have this one, but I also have a one that has USB-C on it. But there's different, to Walt's point, who we were talking about earlier, who had, what was that thing he has? So this obviously is better than what I have, but I don't need to run games and stuff on it. But if you need a GPU, a discrete GPU, then this is probably a cost-effective method by which you can do stuff for $329, $330. But yeah. Let me see. Yeah, it's all about what you need, your form factor. If you're going to run Docker, I wouldn't buy this for Docker. These more than adequately run Docker or Kubernetes or what have you. If you need something graphically intensive, then you can go that route, or you can go scale up quite a bit. The Raspberry Pis I had nothing but issues with, and those were the 3s. So the 5s have probably gotten better, but yeah. Oh yeah, let's see what do I got today. I charged my car today. One of the joys, you can see where I charged my car, where the excellent battery power is being used. Proxmox, yeah, exactly, Proxmox. I actually have, what was I running? XCP-ng. I was actually running that on my fatter system, and it's Zen based. Still running. Actually, where is it? Easy, sweetheart. Plug you. There we go. So here we go. So yeah, this a little box here. This is my fatter one. It's got a USB-C on it. It's got display port, USB 2. It's got an HDMI out. It's got another display port, 2 USB 3s, and it's got gig Ethernet. And it's running XCP-NG right now. So, yeah, works great. Very little noise. Got fan inside that's running. But yeah, I think this cost me like $100, $150, and super quiet. So, I mean, yeah, I can't even hear it. I can hear it, but I don't think the microphone could pick it up. And I can actually run it if I need to remote, locally. You get one of the, Lenovo connectors with a USB-C, and you can power it off of a power brick. So, it's nice. So, oh yeah, for those of you, I did a couple videos on XCP-NG a couple months ago, back when the whole debacle with Broadcom and don't know you. The Broadcom VMware stuff came on, and I did a series of videos on setting that up and making that work, including the Zen Orchestrator dashboard that you can run in Docker on your local box here. So it's not bad. I actually haven't played with it in a few months, so at some point I'll need to get back to it. But, all right, well, I've got some video to edit. I've got to do a little vignette for my side project, which some of you saw earlier in the stream, Peerless Gamer, which, trying to get episode 11 out. So if you will forgive me, I'm going to go get some dinner and go edit a couple of hours of video and audio. And I'm going to be back on Friday. I may be back earlier if I can secure that Tunnel Vision interview with Lizzie and Danny. I want to get them on. We'll have a demo. We'll be able to show some stuff. And without peer? Without what peer? Oh, yes, without peer. Yes, peerless or, all alone. Solo role play, obviously. So I'm either without peer, meaning I have no competition, or I'm all alone, which both work kind of sometimes, maybe. So yeah, anyway, hope y'all had a good day. I hope your week is going well. Hope you take care of yourselves, and it's getting sunny out, it's getting warmer. Try to carve out some time in your schedule to get away from your computer, especially if you work from home. Try to schedule your noon to 1 if you can to not be at work. Have a standing option there for taking lunch or taking a walk during the day. You don't need to be, if you're in an office, that was the other thing that I found working in the office. And I don't want to be unkind to my coworkers, but some of the folks I realized, especially one of my friends who had been forced to go back into the office, it definitely wore on him. You could definitely see that he wasn't as active as he had been before when he was working at home, where he could go and freely take a walk. Being in the office wasn't a conducive environment to be able to drop things and go walk or to be active. So he said he didn't feel the same after being into the office. It was causing a psychological issue. I was like, you got to carve that time out, man. You got to get away from the fucking desk. They can't be finding you at noon or 12:30 if you don't have you can't just work through the damn day. So go and make that time, right? Because you'll never get that back, right? And go out for a quick walk, even if it's around the headquarter block or something, or find some way to go and do something that isn't in the office. So you'll find it will help your psychological well-being, I think. So, and if you can do that, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to do to help you there. Maybe you can listen to some music or something, or maybe your office has a gym or something. You can do that, or suggest a meetup at lunch or something that isn't in the office if you have an area where you can go out and do something. So cool. Well, I'm gonna go, and I'll keep an eye out on our Discord. If you are not yet, join our Discord. It's very low traffic, and I will let people know when and if I get Lizzie and Danny on. I actually need to reschedule Tanya as well because she was unable to make it during our last interview. And so, yeah, I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Take care. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. Because as we're fond of saying here, you're the only you have. And, oh, yeah, let's go raid somebody. Let's see if they're online. Twitch. Anybody, Digital Warhead, you resubscribed for 26 months in a row. Anybody you want to go and kick up? Tiberius is online. We have L Pen Tester. Oh, doing some Hack the Box stuff. Okay. Let's go raid L Pen Tester. Raid L Pen Tester. I do not know who this person is. I think I found them. All right. Y'all have a good one. They're doing some Hack the Box stuff, so we'll check it out. Bye, y'all. Later.